All right, Ben calls me in order. First item is roll call.
Alderman Bray,
Here.
Alderman Cleaver,
Here.
Alderman Knox,
Here.
Alderman Mills,
Here.
Alderman Skinner,
Here.
Alderman Soul.
Here.
There is a quorum.
All right, next item will be the Pledge of Allegiance then from Alderman Cleaver.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, next item will be the approval of the agenda.
No changes, Mayor.
Next item will be a presentation. We have a promotion for Michael Stat. You doing that, Chief?
Time to move.
I just want to mention, there's a lot of process that goes inside the police departments, and application is the hardest part of the process. And the patrol supervisor, the sergeants, are in the front lines of application. And because of that, I think that the most valuable asset inside of the police department is the work happens. So, on behalf of the independent police department, I'm grateful that.
Independence, man. We're going backwards.
Here we recognize that the value of the sergeant is so necessary so that we can advance the growth of the police department. So on that behalf, I'm going to hand it over to Sarah and the sergeant badge. Now we're going to do just a token of appreciation. Congratulations. Can I get the uniforms to go in real quick?
Do we need to move the thing over? Next item will be public comment. We ask the citizens who wish to address the board, please come forward to the podium. We can move on. Does anyone wish to address the board this evening? Everyone? All right. Next item will be the consent agenda.
Mr. Mayor, I move that we approve the consent agenda.
I have a motion from Alderman Skinner to approve the consent agenda. Do I have a second?
Second.
Knox, discussion? All right. Seeing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. All right. Seeing no previous business, move on to new business. We have a liquor license for El Ticliazo Cocina Y Cantina LLC, doing business as Riviera Maya Mexican Restaurants.
So Rivera Maya is not present this evening. They added 2 owners to their list of owners. They've also are requesting a Sunday license, which is a change from the prior restaurant. Other than that, we finally have almost everything. I'm waiting on a certificate of insurance from them for their occupational license, but that is it. And it will be presented again at the next meeting for your approval.
All right. You wouldn't have any questions then?
Everything else is squared away, though. We're just waiting on that.
Just the insurance now.
Okay.
It has been a few months.
And that'll be taken care of before we do final approval?
They will not receive a license until I have that in my hand.
All right.
Yes.
Anything else? All right. See nothing else then. See no proclamations or public hearing. Move on to resolutions. First resolution is R 24-49. It's a resolution by the Board of Aldermen of the City of Grand Valley authorizing the write-off of doubtful utility account balances.
Mr. Mayor, I move that we approve resolution number R 24-49.
I have a motion by Alderman Skinner to approve resolution R 24-49. Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion?
Mayor, members of the board, this is a yearly activity we go through at the end of the year, but it's basically taking a look back from 4 years ago at utility accounts that are delinquent, and we don't see an avenue for those to be made right. So we go through the process of writing those off through staff and trying all the different things that we can. This is a number that has been increasingly getting better as we go. So, we used to go through the process of actually trying to essentially hire a company to go out and collect those balances. But when you talk about such a relatively small amount, it just didn't seem worth it to pay that contract amount. So Stephen and his staff have been working to do everything we can to make sure we don't get in these situations. So this is the numbers are decreasing at least.
What's that number?
$11,517.46.
You know the ratio between business versus residential?
I believe, and we didn't look at this year's, but last year's, I think there's only like one or maybe two businesses on them. The vast majority are residential.
And what was that number last year?
The total amount last year was $12,209.46. I would have to look back to get the breakdown.
I think it was about the same, if I remember right. It was a lot.
Yeah, it's almost completely residential.
Remind me, I know we've talked about this before, but even though we write it off, so say, someone comes back years from now, do we still have it in our books so we can get it from them?
We do. So if someone, say, moved in 2019 and we've written off that debt and they try to come back in 2024, and this has actually happened this year, we will take that bill from bad debt, require them to pay it, and then it is basically money that we receive from them before we turn on that water service.
Hey, Stephen, just a quick question.
Yeah.
What does that mean when a city writes off something? I mean, we don't pay taxes, correct?
No, it basically, to try to get our accounts receivable to more accurately report that number, we just take this number and say, like Ken said, it's not really collectible, because we do try to, in every way possible, get the money from those residents before they leave. And we do have deposits, but if their bill exceeds that amount, then there can be a balance that's left over.
Okay, so this is just like reconciling our balance sheet.
Yeah, like an accounting function, basically.
Gotcha. Okay, thanks.
At what point do we shut off services? I mean, is it
Yeah,
months
so-
delinquent, 3 months?
We have 2 billing cycles. We typically, it's about 2 months behind before they go through that shut-off process. And we do have a number of ways that we try to contact them, including sending late notices. There's also, we even have a phone call that we give to those delinquent accounts before we issue those disconnect notices. And even, I think, the hour to hour and a half up into the disconnect notice goes off, we will take payments if people are willing to make those payments.
I don't know if I
asked this last year, and I don't know if this is even possible. Could we partner with other cities in the area? Majority of these people probably aren't moving out of state. They're moving to neighboring communities. And I'm sure those communities have the same issue with bad debt. Is there a way to partner with them so that
There's no regional,
without paying us, or is that just not even possible?
there's no regional effort with that. They have most likely, there are a lot of different billing systems. Ours is used by several other cities, but there's no connectivity to those. There's also, I'm sure there's some legal issues that would be involved with the records from those different communities.
This is kind of along the same lines, but do we have like any type of hardship program for families who are like going through crisis or who cannot pay that debt?
We typically would direct individuals that are not able to make the payments to service organizations that will try to help cover those bills if they qualify for that.
And we do work on payment plans and that type of thing too, to try to not get people in those situations.
We typically will give one extension a year, and it's typically within 7 days. If it is extenuating circumstances, then we do work with that customer, depending upon their needs and what situation they have.
Any other discussion or questions? All right, see none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Next is resolution R 24-50. It's a resolution by the Board of Aldermen of the City of Grand Valley authorizing the city administrator to purchase mobile data terminals from CDW to outfit police patrol vehicles.
Mr. Mayor, I move that we approve resolution R 2450.
I have motion Alderman Bray to approve resolution R 24-50. Do I have a second?
Second.
All right, any discussion?
Mayor and members of the board, I'm sure as you know, as with everything else, technology is a big thing, and inside the police vehicles is no different. So our in-car computers or mobile data terminals have aged, and we've had issues with those. So Chief had been on the lookout and had been investigating new options for that. So what you have before you would be replacing those units in the cars.
Do we have any questions or discussion?
Are these just standard laptops? Are they rugged? Or?
They're regular tops that are dedicated for particularly for law enforcement use.
But beyond that, there's nothing specialized about them other than software.
Well, they're like waterproof. And
Yeah, rugged.
Yeah, they're just a regular tablets.
So the IT guy that we just approved for the city, will he be handling those as well?
Yeah, I mean, that would be one of the functions for that, yeah.
Yeah, and they'll go back into a replacement program on the computers.
Any additional questions or discussion? All right, seeing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. All right, that's it for resolutions. Next up be ordinances.
Bill number B24-18. This is an ordinance calling an election in the city of Green Valley, Missouri on April 8, 2025.
Mr. Mayor, I move that we approve bill number 24-18 its first read, bring it back for a second reading by title only at our next regular meeting.
All right, I have motion Alderman Knox to approve Bill B 24-18 for its first reading, bring it back by title only for its second reading. Do I have a second?
second.
Any discussion?
Mayor, members of the board, this one is very simple here. This is just our required act of calling the April general election in 2025.
Any questions or discussion? All right, seeing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay.
This is the first reading of Bill number B24-19. This is an ordinance approving the 2025 fiscal year budget and comprehensive fee schedule of the city of Green Valley, Missouri.
I move that we accept the first reading of bill number B24-19 and bring it back for a second reading by title only at our next regular session.
All right, I have a motion by Alderman Stoll to approve Bill B 24-19 for its first reading, bring it back by title only for its second reading. Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion?
Mayor, members of the board, if you remember at the budget workshop, we went through kind of the extent of the budget, but it is a heavy lean on capital projects and capital equipment. The thing that we did get guidance from the board on that we have included in there is accounting for 3% increase for salaries.
And that was just for the COLA, correct?
Mhm.
I had a couple questions about the police side of the budget. There's a couple things on there that I've seen between what the department's getting and what the city's offering. So it's under my understanding that the officers are only getting paid 8 hours of holiday pay when they work on Christmas, New Year's, like the major holidays that the city designates. Why aren't they getting 12?
Yep. So any of that stuff is a negotiated contract that we
Okay.
wouldn't discuss in
Is there
public
any
meeting.
way we could get involved with that?
Command exec, yeah.
Okay. And then the 3% COLA for on the salary of the officers as well, is that being applied to the starting pay
For
for a new officer? Like I say, if an officer got hired the day after it takes effect, will that 3% be included into their starting salary from the current certain salary?
Yep. So again, that's all part of that agreement. The salary scale for that is part of that. So that's something we more than happy to discuss in a closed session, but that's all part of the contract.
So that's stuff that needs to be discussed then. Okay.
Yep.
Additional questions, discussion? All right, seeing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. That's it for ordinances. Next up, city attorney's reports.
Don't have anything to report other than we'll be closed on Thursday and Friday next week.
We always have some comment and emergency on Thanksgiving too.
Exactly. We'll do our best to be available.
Yeah. All right, next up, city administrator and staff reports.
Pretty light today. Just wanted to remind everyone that December 5th at 6 o'clock is the mayor tree lighting. So we'll be doing some different things this year for it. So hopefully everybody will come out and see that. That's just at Armstrong Park, as it is every year. And then just congrats to Sergeant Stat on the promotion.
What time is that?
6 o'clock. I think it typically goes till 8.
So maybe midnight this year, I don't know.
You staying?
Or we do a firework?
No, it was not. It was dry enough that we thought we might be doing Christmas fireworks.
That is true.
Yeah, we got that rain Thursday night. We were a little. Right, is that it?
Yes.
All right. Next up is the Board of Aldermen reports and comments. Alderman Cleaver.
When are the registration dates for the election?
Off the top of my head here, it is the 10th to the 31st. It's Tuesday the 10th, 8 a.m.
December?
Yep, and then it closes on the 31st at 5.
Okay.
If City Hall does happen to close early on that day, I am still here. My phone number will be out there. It's on the election posting. So call me when you get here if we are closed.
All right, thank
Okay.
you. That was it.
All right. Alderman Knox.
I have nothing tonight, Mayor.
All right, Alderman Skinner.
Just one question. So when I first joined the board back in 2022, I think we had a board liaison position for the police department. It was like I don't know what that was called. Do you know what it was called?
Board liaison.
I don't think anybody ever
Yeah,
staffed it.
they never got the committee thing up and going. I don't remember what
Yeah, I
we
don't
called
think they
that,
ever-
yeah. Because we went through, I think, the chief change at that time, and yeah, it just.
What was I think it predated me. What was the rationale at the time? Because I assume that was something that was voted on and added.
It was
Just a resolution.
that was the citizens advisory group, wasn't it? That was
Like police advisory board or something
that
like
they
that.
were going to be. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just we had complaints with the police department, issues with the police department, and so we were starting that up as one of the things to try to help that out. And I think other options happened, and since then it's been okay.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I think it's something that could still be helpful. I don't know if we need. I don't know if we need a.
That's the front
Made
door.
Steven run away. He's like, I'm done. Yeah, I don't know if we need like a full community board, but I mean, I think it would be good to, you know, it seems like a lot of questions. I feel like at least every meeting we have at least 2 or 3 questions from the board related to the police matters. And I think it would be good to have some sort of at least smaller group, even if there's some community members on it, or if there's 2 people on the board that can be a little bit more intimately involved, and just, you know, like the budget process, or you know, just different happenings at the police department, just so we maybe when we can share a little bit more with the board instead of having to ask questions like this.
I don't think, Chief, you would have an issue with us like appointing liaison that you would meet with maybe monthly or something, just to go over things. Yeah.
It's a good attitude. I like it.
Yeah, we can do that.
Okay, yeah, we can talk about it
Yep.
offline. But yeah.
We get, yep, with that. All right. Alderman Bray?
I don't have anything other than to kind of feed into it, and I had no idea he was bringing that up. The last time we spoke, we talked about the stuff up off Hilltop, Eagles Ridge. Do you know if anything, were there any tickets written up that way, or what?
I don't know, I do know that was assigned to the officers.
Okay.
That they could patrol those 3 areas you had mentioned.
I was just following up on it to make sure that.
Yeah, it was relayed, I don't know the stats in terms of what transpired or what actions were taken.
That'll work. See, if Ryan was meeting with you every month, I'd just ask him. I wouldn't ask you anymore.
I'd pull out my Excel sheet. for you.
All right. Anything else, Alderman Bray?
No, that's it.
All right, Alderman Mills?
All I have is, you got the email from Fonda Foot? about
Yeah, she called me.
And she
yeah.
called me. I talked to her about a month and a half ago.
I got it today.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it. I think you forwarded it to Mark to check out.
Mike, but
Mike,
yeah.
okay, yeah.
All right.
Ken forwarded off and then look into, so. Yeah.
Other than that, nothing?
All right, Alderman Sol?
I'm good.
All right. Next up, mayor's reports. Just want to, again, mention December 5th, 6 p.m. We are crossing a bucket list item off of the mayor's Christmas tree lighting this year. So make sure to come check it out. Ken, does it take carrots? Can you feed it?
I don't know. They didn't say. Just photos for sure.
Might be able to feed it. We don't know, but photos for sure. So that's all we're going to do. All right. I believe we do have a need for an executive session, correct?
Yep, do 1 legal and 12 contracts.
All right. So I would entertain a motion then to adjourn in the executive session.
Moved.
Alderman Skinner, have a second.
Second.
Any discussion?
Not until
All right. This will be roll call. Alderman Cleaver.
Alder-
Yes.
Alderman Knox.
Yes.
Alderman Skinner.
Yes.
Alderman Bray.
Yes.
Alderman Mills.
Yes.
Alderman Sewell.
Yes.
All right. We'll adjourn the executive session.